Sorry, I was thinking of my other thing already. Sorry, all
Oh.
right, redo.
Yeah, I'm really glad that you could join me today. For people who don't know you, who are you? What's a little bit about your background, and how did you start Enjoy Slow?
My name is Michelle Barrera, and I'm the owner of EnjoySLO. We're a curated event calendar for San Luis Obispo County. I also am the founder of At Her Table, and we host a festival in March every year for Women's History Month, and I serve over 300 women-owned and co-owned businesses in food, beverage, and lodging. Um,
300.
I my journey is a little bit unique and weird, just like a lot of people who have come to Slow, but I'm really excited to be here, and thanks for the opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're doing a really positive thing for our community, and I think that your presence in on the Central Coast is a positive one. So we're happy that you decided to move and call San Luis Obispo County home. So expand upon that a little bit. As far as I know, you have at her table 300 people. That's amazing. To coordinate all of that. And talk a little bit about Enjoy Slow before we started recording. You were mentioning that you originally started with just the intention to help yourself and your friends understand kind of what's going on in the county. What motivated you to start kind of that curated collection of events?
Well, I was originally from Los Angeles, and restaurants, events were really close to my heart. It was not uncommon, and I don't know if I should be embarrassed about this, but I have gone to 14 places in one night, just exploring. And at the end of the 14 places, I ended up in a random home with a group of people, and we're just all talking about life. I've always been really curious about just how the food industry works, people. I love their stories. And when I moved to San Luis Obispo County, I was eager to have that lifestyle again. So I asked people, what is there to do? I'm new here. I don't have any friends. I don't have any family. I just randomly came here, and my neighbors were like, oh, I don't know what to do. And I kept asking so many people, like business owners, other locals, what do I do? And they're like, oh, I'm not really sure. And why did you come here? You're so young. There's nothing to really do here. And I just didn't believe that at all, because I did have moments with local business owners where I was like, I cannot believe this story. It's insane. It's beautiful. And nobody knows this story. Am I like crazy? Like no one, and people don't. Like I share stories about business owners and events, and they're like mind blown because they don't know that. I think when you're a local, you get into just the zone of things, and you forget to look around you and see that there are magical people and places popping up that you just may not have noticed.
As a native myself, I can resonate with that, and I think sometimes it takes an outside perspective to kind of see something anew and to make something that maybe previously wasn't designed or built out, and see a need. I think that it takes, there's something special about that fresh perspective, that fresh outlook. And it's amazing that you can just start with something small, kind of helping maybe your neighbors understand what's going on, what's available, or just even yourself, and it grows from there. So how many people do you have on your newsletter now, or how many visits to your website EnjoySLO do you have?
Oh my goodness, I'm really thankful for the support of this community. So it's a lot to run through, but definitely we serve over 60,000 unique locals in the area. I'm really proud of it. And when I remember I went to LA, and we were in a group of just social media managers, and then someone was from SLO County. So we're all sharing our following, and then I'm with these people. They have like 200,000 followers, 100,000, and I was like, oh, I have 30,000 on my Instagram, and this person was like, that's amazing for you, because that's 10% of SLO County, and like the 250,000 person is only not even a percent of that county. So I've been really blessed. I feel so lucky to have this support.
Well, I think you make a good point as far as you being blessed, but I think that you've got that following and you've got that, the 10% or the 10% because you've blessed others, which I think is a great approach. When you first, just trying to contribute, come from a place of contribution, and you're there to, bless others, then you get that momentum. What are some things that you've been surprised at as, with yourself on this journey, growing, learning? What's something that you've been surprised at, and how have you grown, and what have you learned, about the county that you didn't know before?
There's been so many things that have impacted like this journey, and if anything, it is the business owner that has and the locals that touch my heart. And I think for me, what I remember is the unknown Mexican chef. He hit me up and was like, can you stop by my place? And I really try my very best to go to places when I have that opportunity. And I live in Atascadero. He was all the way in Nipomo. So I was like, okay, I'm in the area, and I stopped by and I was like, this is like the best taco. And I did a video about it. I was like next level excited because these were like LA street tacos, that like that vibe, everything, the flavor. And I remember he had just like, there were a few people there, and the next day it like blew up, and there was like a 2-hour line. And he told me, he was like, it was the most emotional moment. He was like, you're the promoter I was always looking for. I was like the guy on the street with a CD, hustling, like, take my CD. And you were the one who picked up the CD. And these stories and like the emotion, the passion that these owners and locals have, it's just remarkable. So special.
It's amazing that there are so many talented people in every county. And hopefully, as we're dialoguing here today, there maybe is somebody outside of San Luis Obispo County or the Central Coast that sees and is inspired by your story, because I think that there's an opportunity to really focus down on the local aspect of each community, each area, because there's something unique in every city, in every community, in every county. So I think that when you can take somebody like this gentleman and just put a spotlight on somebody who already did a great job with amazing food, amazing tacos, and just say, hey, there's this person you should know. There are these tacos that are delicious. And that's all it takes. It's just a spotlight. And there's so many people like that in all the cities, in our country, or counties in our country, especially here in San Luis Obispo. There's just so many opportunities to spotlight really special people that have something to contribute, like an amazing taco. Because just from seeing your reaction, when you first, you could probably go back in your memory and remember the first time that you had that taco, and it was an amazing experience having that first bite. What do you see for yourself in the future? And how would you like to grow? Are there some collaborations that you'd like to see? Just talk to me about, we've talked about where you've been, kind of led up to this point, but what would you like to see in the future? What are some things that you think, really get you excited? Do you want to put on your own events? Do you want to, have more connection with, businesses, or with, other maybe collaborators in similar space as you? What do you see for your future, and for EnjoySLO and At Her Table? I'm just curious about that.
I'm so excited about both. Just the growth in general. I always have big plans, and I think what's special about both of them is when I'm doing this, it's not like what people would typically think. They're like, oh, you must be trying to build a business. But for me, like, EnjoySLO and At Her Table it's so much more than that. It's, what do I want to create in SLO County? What do I want SLO County to look like? And then how do I make that reality? So I think a lot of people, they have ideas in their head, but then they don't really take action on it. Like, when the idea comes into my head, I just do it. And I want to shape SLO County in a way that people feel included, that there is diversity, that I lead by example, because to me, when I look at my feed, even just on my Instagram alone, I feel happy because I see an elderly woman, or I see like a Hispanic person, or there is an African American woman there. Like, I want people to know that we're not an advertisement where we live, and like, it's so much more than just a beautiful place. Like, there are beautiful people. So I'm excited for 2024. We released our subscription program. We're going to be doing very special events with that. I haven't really disclosed that yet, but and this year I was very lucky to be accepted into the James Beard Network Legacy Program. So I will be working with amazing chefs. I hope to bring recognition to our county and add a little bit of spice to it.
Well, congratulations on that, and I think you're very well-deserving individual for that. And I love what you said as far as so many people have ideas, but it's about taking action. And that's one of the things that I appreciate about you, because you take positive action and you think big. And there's a lot of people that have ideas, but they don't act on them. And I think that that is a key component for anybody. Life is short. Life is short, and we have an opportunity to imagine, right, and think about things that we want to create in our communities, like what you did. You took action on it, and instead of just thinking about it and going, "Oh, I've got this great idea," you did something about it, and now we're here dialoguing, and you're such a positive contribution to our community. So I just want to say I appreciate you taking the action, and what an encouragement to other people, and just kind of stepping out in that faith of imagination to action, and look where you are. And so that's, I think, such a key element, is just take that first step, take that little bit of action. And I think that you would agree, once you have that momentum, it's amazing to see what happens once that momentum starts going.
Yeah, I so agree. And I think perfection gets in the way of a lot of things. And I used to be such a perfectionist, but you will see, and if you've worked with me in the past, like, you'll know that there are spelling errors, and people will be like, "I can't believe you just did that." I'm like, I really don't care, because now that ball is in motion. That little spelling error and if I'm going to sit there for 30 minutes digging into this 2-sentence email, it's a waste of time, and it'll never get done, because by then the voices tell you, "Don't send the email. You're such an idiot. Like, you're not deserving." I write those emails and I send it, and I don't care. I let the universe, the higher powers, like, they move it to where it needs to go.
I couldn't agree more, and I think that there's that stopping point, if you're focused on perfection, that can really hinder you from taking any kind of step. You just got to plant the seeds, push that snowball down the hill. You can't think about it, overthink it too much, and be perfect. What advice would you have to somebody who maybe is trying to do or emulate something like what you've done here in San Luis Obispo County, maybe somewhere else in some other state, or maybe even other country? What little bit of advice, besides taking action and don't be focused on perfection and having that stop you, what are some other what's your, I guess, top 3 tips for somebody who might want to do what you've done?
I think, like, my number one tip for sure, and nobody really talks about this, is yourself. Like, they'll say, do this, do this, do this, do that. But really, it is you, because you create the reality around you. What your thoughts are create the reality. So self-development is so key. If you don't work on yourself, like, you're never going to have that opportunity to improve. And I think what I've learned from EnjoySLO is the power of diving into your authentic self. And I love EnjoySLO because you'll see I just share anything, like anything that's true to my heart. And that's why I'm not like another business or like maybe a tourism company, is because I'm sharing real things like that do matter. And it doesn't need to look all perfect and fluffy. So number one, work on yourself. find that leadership voice, because the leader is the one who affects everything around them. Two, come from a place of curiosity. I think people are so set on ideas, their ideology, their judgment of other people. But for me, I've been really lucky. I come from a place of listening, and even on EnjoySLO, we've had very hot topics, especially with Black Lives Matter when that happened. But I let people talk. I don't feel the need to control their ideology. Like, I'm happy to listen, have a conversation. It's not my place to change someone's mind. It's my place to have a conversation. And then lastly, I would say jump. Life is so short. It's so unbelievably short.
Sure.
And you have like these magic moments. Like the other day I was at a festival and I saw this guy and I'm like, I'm just attracted to talk to him. And my husband's like, can we just go? And I'm like, no, I want to talk to him. And I don't know why. And he was like, you're crazy. This guy doesn't even know you. Went up to him. I'm like, I don't know you. I just wanted something about you. I just want to know. My name is Michelle. And literally had like this 10-minute conversation. It turns out his name is Unemployed Wine Guy. And he's very, I guess, popular on Instagram. I didn't know who he was, but you know who you're attracted to. You can't explain it. Like, you just have to take advantage of those moments and don't second guess yourself with your voice, telling you're dumb or you're gonna look stupid. Like, that doesn't matter. It doesn't exist. It's only that reality for in your mind. So make it fun.
I love that. I think I deeply resonate with that, and I appreciate that you started with that inward kind of work on yourself first. I think that is the key element, and I love that you talked about curiosity, because that's so, that seasons everything else or so many other things. If you have some curiosity, so many other things will open up for you. Just like, you had some curiosity with that gentleman, the unemployed wine guy,
Yeah.
and so you just spoke to him, and you just never know. And so I appreciate that, and thanks for sharing that. And I hope that, my goal here dialoguing with you is, because I love what you've done here for San Luis Obispo and the Central Coast, and I want to see other people become inspired by what you've done and emulate what you've done and feel empowered, because like you said, life is short, and sometimes we have those self-doubt thoughts in our mind of, oh, you can't do this, you can't start this business, you can't start this, you can't start this restaurant, whatever it is. But if you just take that action, you collaborate, you start the process, you're curious, and you like you said, start with yourself. There's so many opportunities and so many potentials out there, and now's the time to do it. It's not, 5 years from now, 10 years, 20 years from now. You can't go back in time. So, it's encouragement for any of us who have ideas to do it. Just take that action, do it, and see what happens. And I think you're a testament to that, and I really appreciate what you've done and the contribution that you've made. And I just appreciate that as you being a valuable member of our community, and also contributing to other people to encourage them to do the same. Any last words when we wrap up here? I know we're trying to keep this short and sweet. Anything else that you'd like to share, or any calls to action for people who are watching or listening, signing up for the newsletter? They can go to EnjoySLO.com. Any last words?
I definitely want to say, if there's anyone out there who is dreaming, go for it. I'm totally living for it. You can always message me, and I'm happy to support entrepreneurs in any way I can. If you want to follow me, I'm on EnjoySLO. We have an Instagram, TikTok, Facebook page. We have a website, EnjoySLO.com. We have our subscription. There's many ways to participate in what we are creating on the Central Coast. I don't see it as me. This really is a community effort. People support me with events in the calendar, and I'm really looking forward to meeting you if I haven't yet.
Awesome. Well, thanks for taking the time out of your day to chat, and I just want to say I really appreciate that, so thank you.
Oh, of course. Thanks for having me. This was fun.
It is. I'm glad we can make it